refuses to be caged as a kept mistress in her current loveless lap of luxury. She instead dreams of the happiness that comes with the experience of loving truly. During a cocktail party at her elegant Parisian home, the poet Prunière speaks about his theories of love. Prunière shares the first verse of his latest song about Doretta, who rejected a king as her suitor because of the value she placed on true love. Unable to finish the song, Prunière allows Magda to step in and improvise the second verse. She sings of a heroine who finds true love with a poor student, and proclaims that the experience of loving truly is far more valuable than all the riches in the world. Join me in welcoming house artist Valerie Wainwright from St. George as she sings in Italian Qu'il bel sogno from Puccini's La Rondine. The Balad of Baby Doe, chronicles the sad story of Horace and Baby Doe, a wealthy, politically connected couple who divorced their spouses for what they perceived to be true love. The opera tells of the tragic unraveling of their families, their riches, and their power. Horace is tormented by his past life and the decline of his two daughters who have disowned him and been driven to prostitution because he left their mother. In Baby Doe's final aria, Horace is hallucinating and dying of old age and grief. Baby Doe holds her loving husband in her arms and sings of their struggles and how life must go on. Please join me in welcoming house artist and current student of mine at Dixie College, Joyce Jacox, from Washington, Utah, as she sings in English, Always Through the Changing, from Douglas Moore's The Ballad of Baby Doe. Figaro is one of Mozart's most famous and comic operas. In this next aria, the Count Almaviva's head servant Figaro pokes fun at the page boy Cherubino, who has just been dispatched by the Count to his own regiment in Seville for army duty, effective immediately. The Count does this because Cherubino has been flirting with all the women in his court and has fallen for his wife, the Countess. This is not acceptable. So, Cherubino, who is young and naive, is afraid of what might happen to him in the army, but this does not keep Figaro from making fun of him for reaping the consequences of his youthful ardors. Figaro sings to Cherubino, "No more gallivanting!" And at the end of his litany of torments, Figaro triumphantly tells him to go and be victorious, for the glorious military awaits him. Please join me in welcoming house artist Jacob Pohlsander from St. George as he sings in Italian Figaro's aria Non più Andrai from Mozart's The Marriage of Figaro. which means it's a male role played by a female, generally a mezzo-soprano with a darker colored voice than a traditional soprano. Please join me in welcoming mezzo-soprano and house artist Allison Hunt from St. George as she sings in her fluent Italian Cherubino's aria Voi che sapete from Mozart's The Marriage of Figaro.
Schumann. During the year 1840, Schumann composed 138 songs, including the song cycle Myrten. The first song in that cycle is entitled Widmung, meaning dedication in German. It is an enthusiastic avowal of love. This song was a wedding present for Schumann's beloved Clara, also a marvelous composer, whom he had loved and wanted to marry for some time, but had been forbidden by her father. Please join me in welcoming our company artist and senior apprentice, a colleague of mine on the adjunct voice faculty of Dixie College, Jenny Smith from St. George, singing in German Robert Schumann's renowned song, Widmung.
Oh,
Princess Turandot. To obtain permission to marry her, a suitor has to solve 3 riddles. Any false answer results in death. Gala passes the test, but Turandot still hesitates to marry him. He offers her a way out. He agrees to die should she be able to guess his real name. The character who sings our next aria, Liu, is secretly in love with Gala. She pleads with him not to risk his life by playing this deadly game to marry the Princess Turandot. She pleads with him to listen to her and exclaims that if he should die, your father will lose his son, and I will lose the shadow of a smile. Please join me in welcoming house artist Amara Root from San Diego, California, singing in Italian, Signore, Ascolta, from Puccini's Turandot. Verdi's masterpiece, Rigoletto, is the tragic story of Rigoletto, the Duke's hunchbacked court jester, who is cursed to lose his only and beloved daughter Gilda to murder at the hands of his own hired assassin. Rigoletto attempts to protect his daughter from the Duke's seductive ways by forbidding her to leave the house to go anywhere but to church. He thought this was a good idea, but it was a very bad one. At church, a young man catches her eye, and Gilda confesses her interest to her nurse. She says that if he were only a poor student, she would be extremely intrigued. Well, disguised as a poor student, the Duke arrives at Rigoletto's house and convinces Gilda of his love for her. They quickly exchange vows of love before her father's return. Giddy with excitement, Gilda meditates on her newfound love and sings her most famous aria praising his dear name, Caro. Please join me in welcoming back company artist and master apprentice Laura Snow as she sings in Italian our final aria of the evening, Caro Nome, from Verdi's Rigoletto.